Good morning, students. Welcome to Mathematics 8, Quarter 4, Week 3 and 4. By the way, my name is Violan J. Viola Jr., your subject teacher in mathematics. So before we start with our lesson, this morning, let's have first our objectives. Our objectives are A. Prove properties of parallel line cut by a transversal, and letter B. Determines the condition under which line segments are parallel or perpendicular. So I have here some questions. So what is transversal? What is parallel line? What is line? What is line segment? What is perpendicular? So later on we will tackle all these terms. So the first is transversal. Transversal is a line that cuts across two or more usually parallel lines. Okay, so a line that cuts a parallel line is what we call transversal. In the figure below, the line AB is a transversal. It cut across the parallel lines PQ and RS. If it crosses the parallel lines at right angles, it is called a perpendicular transversal. If you carefully adjust A or B below, you can create this type. Parallel line. Lines are parallel if they are always the same distance apart, called equidistance, and will never meet. Parallel lines also point in the same direction. Line. A geometrical object that is straight, infinitely long, and infinitely thin. Line segment. This line segment has two endpoints, A and B, whose length is fixed. The length of this line segment is the distance between its endpoints A and B. If you mark two points A and B on it and pick its segment separately, it becomes a line segment. So, a line segment is a piece of a part of a line having two endpoints. Unlike a line segment has a definite length. The length of a line segment can be measured either in metric units such as millimeters, centimeters, or customary units like feet or inches. Perpendicular. In elementary geometry, the property of being perpendicular or perpendicularity is the relationship between two lines which meet at a right angle 90 degrees. Properties of parallel line cut by a transversal. Corresponding angles postulate. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then a pair of corresponding angle is congruent. Just like, for example, if line 1 is parallel to line 2, then angle 2 is congruent to angle 6, and angle 3 is congruent to angle 7, and angle 1 is congruent to angle 5, and angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. Converse, given the lines cut by a transversal, if a pair of corresponding angles are congruent, then the two lines are parallel. So then line 1 is parallel to line 2. If angle 2 is congruent to angle 6, angle 3 is congruent to angle 7, angle 1 is congruent to angle 5, and angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. Alternate, alternate interior angle theorem. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then a pair of alternate interior angles is congruent. If line 1 is parallel to line 2, then angle 3 is congruent to angle 5, and angle 6 is congruent to angle 4. Its converse is given two lines cut by a transversal. If pair of alternate interior angles are congruent, then the two lines are parallel. If angle 3 is congruent to angle 5 and angle 6 is congruent to angle 4, then line 1 is parallel to line 2. Same side interior angles theorem. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then a pair of interior angles on the same side of transversal are supplementary. If line 1 is parallel to line 2, then the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 6 is equals to 180 degree, and the measure of angle 4 plus the measure of angle 5 is equals to 180 degree. Its converse theorem is given the two lines cut by a transversal. If same side interior angles are supplementary, then the two lines are parallel. If the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 6 is equals to 180 degree, if the measure of angle 4 plus the measure of angle 5 is equals to 180 degree, then the line 1 is parallel to line 2. More theorems. Perpendicular transversal theorem. If a line is perpendicular to one line that is a parallel to another, then the line is perpendicular to the second. Vertical angle theorem. If two angles are vertical, then they are congruent. Linear pair theorem. If two angles form a linear pair, then they are supplementary. Okay, class. Okay, class. That's end our lessons for today. Thank you for listening and God bless.